Senator TJ Shope, I didn't hear the music in my ear. I don't know why. But Senator Shope is from Arizona, the desert state. Moreover, they don't have football down there. They're in the Pac-12, which is falling apart because the Big Ten went and got USC and UCLA. So are you a graduate of either of those fine institutions?
I am a graduate of Arizona State.
You should be knocking on the door of the Big Ten and trying to get in.
I have been tweeting over the last few days to Dr. Crow and anyone else who will listen that it's time for us to leave the Pac-12.
Well, Senator Shope, what is going on at Arizona State? You're driving, I mean, there's some pogroms going on. They're driving out the conservatives. They're firing people. They need this book, America's Cultural Revolution, because the left is fighting back in Arizona, and it's run by Republicans, except for your crazy governor.
Yeah, that's true, but we've had a couple of legislative hearings on what's going on at Arizona State right now, and it's bizarre to me because it is a home of freedom schools that we have both at the University of Arizona and Arizona State. So the censorship, the kind of pressure cooker that exists for anybody who espouses anything other than a left-wing vibe is proving to be a bit much, and it's time to get to the bottom of that.
You know, the greatest law student I have ever had runs the Goldwater Litigation Institute. Sandefur drives me crazy. He's the worst person ever to have in a law school class. You're wrong, professor. He's sitting in the back. And he was always right, of course. That's what made me crazy. But you got great lawyers. All this stuff is unconstitutional, what they're doing. It's viewpoint discrimination. It's race discrimination. How's it happening?
You know, I think it speaks to how prevalent and deep the problem is of kind of left-wing indoctrination in universities and academia. You know, the right, we gave up academia for the most part for the last 50 years, and we're seeing the consequences of that. Even in a relatively red state, even in a state where I think that Dr. Crow is, I've always seen him as just a straight shooter, the president of Arizona State University. So even places like that, it's just, it is embedded in the faculty.
Now, let me ask you, you got a Senate race. You're rumored to be getting in. And if you're in, Senator Shope, let me know, and you can live in the studio. Because if Steve Twist is with you, I'm for you, and Steve's never wrong. His kids are, I can't say too much about the kids, but they're really. But you got a Marine Corps haircut. What's the deal?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of the easiest thing for me to do, I guess, in the morning whenever I wake up.
How long have you been in the state Senate?
I've been in 3 years. Legislature, this is my 11th year.
Okay, so what's the website for you?
It is tjshope.com, tjshope.com.
TJSHOPE.
That's correct. That's correct. You got it right.
Oh, I did get it right. Okay, I'm glad to hear about that. You're the president pro tem?
That's correct, yeah.
I was the president pro tem of Buckeye Boy State in 1973, so I want you to know that. So I got that going for me.
We're both Boy State alums.
Well, we run the president pro tem, actually. Is that the case in Arizona?
That is the case. You're in the chair. You find yourself in the chair actually running the show about 80% of the time.
Yeah,
so.
No, president pro tem is the job, and I told people if you're ever going to go to Boy State or Girl State, get the senator pro tem deal. By the way, are they still allowed to have Buckeye Boy States or Arizona Boy States, or is that gender, is that ruled out?
Well, I tell you, I did it my junior year of high school.
Did you?
2002. I was at Arizona Boy State.
Such geeks.
And yeah, I was a state representative.
My wife's still bitter. Oh, you were a state rep? Everyone was a state. Well, actually, the sheriffs are the losers.
They were. They were.
The sheriffs get them.
They had to write tickets to everybody.
So tell me, what is this crazy governor doing in Arizona? Can she do any damage?
The damage is very mitigated so long as Republicans hold the majority in at least one of the two chambers. As you know, it's a razor-thin margin, 1-seat majority in the Senate, 1-seat majority in the House. And we have been able to stonewall a lot of the things that have been attempted, and using, whether it's lawsuits, using her nominees for different agency directors to keep them from being fully appointed, things like that, and really just challenging. The thing I would say is that the governor, she was elected not because she was super popular. She, in fact, the most recent Morning Consult
She's never going to win the spelling bee.
No, she, I think, has her as the second least popular governor in the United States. I think that it's one of those things where we have to keep our foot on the gas as well on our side.
Tell me about the school choice, because that's what ALEC is all about, the Education Savings Account. You are the best, the most comprehensive. Buckeye did it by income. They did it a little bit of means testing. I think that might be okay. But how's it working, and how many people are enrolling? Are they making it easier? Are they screwing it up? We got 1 minute.
I think we have done a very good job of implementation. What you've seen so far is that many students who are already in private schools are taking advantage. I think it stands to reason because they already know about the program. They're in that system already. We're beginning to see other students and their parents make the decision to go that route. It is exceeding the expectation as far as the number of students participating, which I think is a good thing. And I think long term, you're going to see a stabilization of the program. It'll be successful. I think it's the model for the United States. It's something we try to do for many years. And, as I mentioned, thankfully in Governor Ducey's last year of his tenure, we were able to use one-seat majorities to push it through the legislature.
Well, you had
and
a
get it
governor
signed.
from Ohio.
Well,
so that's why
that
it
is correct.
worked.
That
is why
correct.
it worked. Doug Ducey, our favorite governor. I hope he keeps his hand in the political world. TJ, Senator
do
Shope,
too.
thank you. Good to have you on.
You
Thank
bet.
you for sitting in. Love the haircut, though. That's a
Absolutely.
real Arizona haircut. Glad that you got dressed up for me, too.
Well, it's getaway day.
Yeah, it is getaway day. Thank you so much.